Let's start lying down tonight. Oh. I'm going to invite you to take any movement or stillness that feels good in your body. Don't feel any need to start in any particular way. So if you want to move a little, move a little. If you are ready to just collapse onto your mat, collapse onto your mat. All things are welcome. I do want you, while you're taking whatever stillness or movement feels good to you, to begin to take a little notice about all of the things that you can hear. Maybe the AC unit ticking, the movement, the traffic outside, or maybe you can hear your own breath. Just noticing. Maybe you begin to notice moving your attention to the things that you can smell. And any taste that's left on your tongue. Maybe you move your attention, even if your eyes are closed, to anything that you can see, perceive, even on the back of your eyelids, light and shadow. And then begin to move your attention to all of the places where your body is in contact with the mat or the floor. Noticing that point of contact, your feet and your mat meet. Your hips or glutes. All along your spine. Your arms. The back of your head. And then move your attention to anything else that you notice in your body right now. Very easy, the end of a long day, for our attention to be anywhere but right in this moment. Paying attention, tuning into our senses, guides us to give attention to right here in this place. This practice always reminds me, as we give attention to our senses, at the beginning of 1 John, where he writes that which was from the beginning, which we have heard and we have seen with our eyes and we have looked at and our hands have touched. This we proclaim concerning the word of life, that we are able to notice the word made flesh with all of our senses. The reminder that they were able to, yes, see Word made flesh right before them. But we too, when we take time to be in the present moment, have the opportunity to gaze upon God's good gifts of creation, to observe God's continued working in the world, to notice what might otherwise speed by without our attention. And from here, I'm going to invite you to begin to move your body just a little bit, but to continue taking in with attention to your senses what you notice in the moment. Rather than looking for a particular outcome or shape or design or pose, we're just noticing what our senses take in this very moment, being really present. So let's hug our right knee into our chest. Maybe you take your right hand on that right knee and just begin to guide that knee around in circles, rotating your leg from the hip joint. I'm just barely even holding on to my knee. You can do it without holding on if you prefer. And the next time you come back around to a full circle, let's take those circles the opposite direction. Maybe you notice, did one direction feel more natural than the other? One a little more awkward? And then let's hug that knee into our chest and keep the knee in stillness, but we'll take our ankle and rotate it. Yep, snap, crackle, and pop are present. It's all right. Totally normal. And we'll take our ankle the other direction. When you come to a full rotation, we're going to straighten our leg or lengthen our leg. You're welcome to keep a little gentle bend in the knee up toward the ceiling. That left leg might still be long on the mat, or if it's more comfortable for you, you're welcome to bend that knee and plant the sole of the left foot on the mat. Do what feels good. And we're going to point our toes toward the ceiling and think about the feeling of one long stretch from your big toe across the top of your foot, down your ankle and your shin, maybe even up that thigh. And then flex the foot, heel presses toward the ceiling, toes come back toward your face, and think about one long line from that heel all the way down the back of the leg. And then let's just do a little bit of pointing and flexing back and forth without losing that engagement all the way up and down the leg as you do each one. And then we'll gently hug that knee back into our chest. Settle that right foot down to the mat alongside your left one. Just notice how your two sides feel. Pay attention to any sensations. And then we'll take it to the other side so our left knee hugs into our chest. Maybe that right leg's long, maybe it's bent, whatever's better for you. And then we'll take those circles with the left knee, rotating that left leg in the hip joint. And then we'll take our circles the opposite direction. We'll pause and hug that knee in and rotate our ankle. And the opposite direction. Again, maybe you noticed, did one direction feel like it wants to rotate a little more easily than the other? Was it a little smoother or a little stickier? And then let's lengthen that left leg up toward the ceiling. Welcome to grab behind that left leg. Gentle bend in the knee if it's comfortable for you. And we'll point our toes toward the ceiling, looking for that long line of engagement all the way from the big toe across the top of the foot, the ankle, the shin. And then pressing that heel toward the ceiling, drawing your toes back toward your face, engaging all the way along the back of the leg, up through the glute. And then back and forth, point and flex. Just taking a moment to really engage all the way through the leg, both ways. Let's hug that left knee back into our chest. And we'll bring the right one in to join it. I'm going to start here, just a couple of variations of Happy Baby. Maybe you want to stay right here, knees tucked in, tailbone sinking toward the mat. Maybe you want to lift your feet toward the ceiling, but keep those knees bent back toward your armpits. So maybe you want to hold behind your thighs or your knees. If you're already feeling ready for it, you can reach up and grab your feet. Y'all are feeling pretty, y'all needed some Phoebe time today. Play a little in this pose. We so rarely pay attention to the sensations in our body. Maybe one leg wants to lengthen out long and straighten as you go to each side. Maybe you want to rock. Maybe you just want to tuck into a little ball and cry. That's okay too. We do it all. Whatever works for you. And when you feel like you've had your fill of this for the moment, let's lengthen out into a great big morning stretch. Feet reaching toward me, hands reaching toward the back wall. Again, wrists and ankles can rotate if that feels good. And then we're going to take our body into kind of an X shape on our mat here. So feet spread wide to either side of the bottoms of our mat, hands spread wide to the tops. And we're going to take a banana shape, right? So you're going to take this right hand and take it in your head over toward your left one. You can grab onto that right wrist if you want. Same thing now with your feet. You're going to take that right foot over toward your left one. You can even cross it over. But we're keeping our back on the mat, which means you may not be as big of an X as you were, right? You may have to come back into the middle a little to not feel too much stretch. But we're looking for a stretch all the way along this right side of our body. And then just relax yourself into it just a little bit. Right? You don't have to like pull and tug. Just take in a little. In fact, what happens if you take a deep inhale and then on your exhale, let something go? And then let's stretch it back to center, coming into our great big X. A snow angel, right? And we'll take it to the other side. So scoot your head over with you, your shoulders if you need. That left foot can come over toward the right one, even cross the ankle if you like. Inhale deeply. And then let something go with your exhale. And come back to the center. Great big morning stretch. And when you're ready, we're going to roll over onto your right side. That right bicep makes a nice pillow. You're good. You're doing it exactly right. And then we're going to take our left hand in front of us and press into your mat or the floor and use it to press yourself up to a seat. And that's how you get out of bed if your back hurts. Roll to the side, press your way up, off the sofa, or out of the floor when you're playing with the grandkids. All right. Let's give our neck and shoulders a little attention today. So just to start, again, let's notice a little bit. What do you feel? Any natural movement you want for shoulders or neck? Like a little roll. Notice what you need. And if you don't know what you need, just try some things. See what feels good. Come back upright. And we're going to take a nice tall seat. So find those sit bones and let them settle right on into the mat. And then feel as if there's a thread drawing up through your spine and out the crown of your head. Maybe your chin tucks just a little. So nice and tall seat. We're going to inhale and take both hands up. Maybe your gaze goes with it. Exhale, let's drop this left hand down to the mat and take that bend over to the left. Really drop that right sit bone. Yep, I saw that. We all did this. Sit bone. It's that your little bony spot, not your tailbone. That we roll way back here if we're on our tailbone, but you got two bones that stick out at the top of your legs that you can sit into. All right, inhale, come right back up. And let's do it to the other side. So this is that same stretch we did lying down, essentially. We're just doing it seated now. Do it one more each way. But we have a tendency to want to like pull ourselves over and we lose our stretch. If we sink that, settle that hip in, and come back up. Let's do the other side. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And let's take our left ear to left shoulder, back up to center, right ear to right shoulder. Without moving quickly, we are just going to fluidly move from one side to the other. Maybe you notice, can you drop your shoulders away from your ears a little? Back and forth. Let's inhale, reach our hands back up. And this time we're going to twist toward the left. So maybe that right hand comes to your left knee. Inhale, come back up to center. And twist to the right. Inhale, come back up to center. We'll bring our hands up. We're going to do it one more time each way. And this time I want you to really focus on, where do you feel the twist? Do you feel it in the waist, in the hips, in the shoulders, or back, along the jaw? Come back to center. And we'll take it the other way. Same thing, this side. Take your twist and then notice, where do you feel it? And it may be that the longer you focus on it, you notice it. Oh yeah, it is also in my hips, or also in my shoulders, also along my jaw. Inhale, come back to center. One more lift up. And then let's let our hands float back down to our side. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Feel free to double up your mat if you want a little extra cushion under your knees. You know, like this. And anytime we come onto hands and knees, you have options about what feels best on your wrists. If your wrists aren't feeling especially flexible today, maybe you use fists instead of wrists. Often you're going to find that pointer finger pointing forward is the most comfortable, but do what feels right for your body. And we're going to practice breathing with some movement here. So on our inhale, we're going to drop our belly toward the mat and tip our tailbone and our collarbones up. And on our exhale, we're going to tuck our tailbone and tuck our head and press the floor away with our shins, or if you've got your toes tucked, your toes and hands. So inhale, drop the belly, tailbone comes up. Exhale, drop the head, drop the tailbone, arch the back. Take the movement with your breath. So yours might move faster or slower than your neighbors. That's all right. If something feels good in one spot and you want to stop with your head down and breathe a couple of breaths there, that's okay too. Do what feels good. But we're doing a couple of things here. One, we're slowing down our breath to match our movement. Or we might be slowing down our movement to match our breath. Paying attention to pacing that breath. But also using our breath to help invite extra movement into the body. As we press the floor away, we're able to press that air out, making room for additional air on our inhale. We drop the belly and it helps us remember to breathe into that belly space. And the next time you get ready for an exhale, we're going to bring our big toes together. Knees as wide apart as you like to make yourself room. We're going to sit our hips back toward our heels. Maybe you stay up high. Maybe you drop your head down toward the mat. And as you're here, forehead can just rest gently on the mat or on your stacked hands if the mat feels too far away. I want you to notice the way that your breath fills up the back of your body. As you inhale, let your back body open and make space for your breath. Lungs expand, your front is constricted, your back will make space. And perhaps you bring your forehead up just an inch or two off the mat so that you can crawl both of your hands over to the left side of your mat next to each other, or even right hand on top of left. And then use that left hand to press into the floor or the mat and push your hips back toward your heels. Feel that same kind of stretch along the right side of the body. And then we'll walk our fingertips back through center and over to the opposite side of the mat, next to each other, or even left hand on top of right this time. Press into that right hand to push your hips back toward your heels. Maybe roll that left armpit toward the mat. And we'll come back through center. Take a couple of easy breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll push back up onto hands and knees. I'm going to turn around just so I can see y'all. On our inhale, we're going to twist and bring our left hand up toward the ceiling. On our exhale, we're going to thread it through underneath our right hand. And you can bring then your left temple to the mat. Take a couple of good breaths here. Do whatever feels natural with that right hand. And then we'll press into that right hand and come out the way we came in, lifting that left hand up. Bring it back down to your mat. And we'll go the other direction. So on your inhale, right fingertips float up as you twist. Exhale, bring them through. Drop that right temple to the mat. Maybe you notice where you really feel the stretch. Outside of the right shoulder. Maybe you really feel the twist more than you feel the shoulder stretch. It's not good or bad, it just is. And we'll press into that left hand and come out the way you went in. Drop those right fingertips to the mat. Maybe another couple of those breaths with movement. If that feels good on the spine. And when you're ready, we'll come back to a seat. We're going to do one ab workout today, and then you can tell people you worked out. You didn't just stretch. Okay, so we were earlier sitting on those sit bones. Now I want you to tip back behind your sit bones. So you're not rocking all the way back onto your tailbone, but those sit bones come up. So you're they kind of form a triangle. You're going to rock back behind those sit bones. Knees are bent. And we're going to make our spine really long. So here's the problem. In order to make our spine and our neck be in line with our body, because we're tilted back, you're going to have to gaze probably about where the ceiling and the wall meet, right? So our spine can be nice and long, which means you're having to look at me through your edges of your vision. You're fine. I'm not going anywhere. All right, spine's nice and long. Maybe you grab behind your thighs just to help you feel nice and tall. And we're going to lift our left foot up off the mat. Did you feel your core turn on? Okay, good. Set it back down. Lift that right foot up off the mat. And there's no magic here to like point and flex. Do what makes you feel engaged. But feel that core turn on. Set it back down. This time, perhaps you do one foot at a time again, or if you are feeling real adventurous, you can pull them both up at the same time. Check in. Did you stop breathing when you started balancing? Yeah, I do. So maybe we take a breath. Breathing's good. Breathing's good. And there is no magic to doing one at a time. Like, it's not a bad thing. You're just practicing turning on those muscles. And sometimes I like do other things to distract myself. All right. Stretch your legs out long. Okay, check in. How's your low back feeling? If it got a little crunchy while you were engaging your core, then as we do this next stretch, I'm going to invite you to put a little bend in your legs. We're going to lift our arms up. We're going to fold forward, chest toward knees. Doesn't matter how far the head gets. Chest comes toward knees. And then sit all the way back up tall again. We're going to take these in movement from the hip. Spine stays nice and long. Come back upright. Exhale, fold forward. One more. This time, if you'd like, you can stay chest folded toward your thighs. So this isn't a back of leg stretch. We did that earlier lying down. We do this, we're doing a back stretch here to lengthen out that low back, which is why a generous bend in the knee feels better. Take a generous bend in the knee. When you're ready, inhale, come all the way back up. And let's come to recline back down onto our mat. Y'all didn't want to stand up today, did you? Good, 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 good. Overrated, that standing thing. All right. Let's settle our right foot on the mat, knee bent, and hug that left knee into our chest. And then we're going to cross our left ankle over our right thigh and press, just with your leg, you don't have to use your hand to do it, but press that left knee out to the side toward 90 degrees. So depending on the way we're built or how tight our hips are, it may not get anywhere near 90 degrees, but that action, like you're moving it out. You can stay right here. If you're already feeling sensation, this might be exactly the pose you want tonight. If you need a little more sensation, maybe you draw that right foot up off the mat so that you can bring both legs towards you. You're welcome to hold behind the right thigh or the right shin. That right leg can be bent or straight. Some people get the very best stretch in this left hip with a bent right leg and some with a straight right leg. Wherever you're feeling that stretch, I'm going to invite you to send your attention there by imagining that you're breathing into that space. Maybe you even exhale through your mouth. That sigh can help us release. We've been holding. And we'll settle both feet back down to the mat. Take it to the opposite side so that right ankle settles across the left thigh this time. Reaching that right knee out toward the side, and then take whatever variation helps you find your stretch in that right hip. Take several good breaths here. Okay, we're not doing that much excitement. Let's find some slower music. One more good breath here. And then we'll lower both feet back down to the mat. And take any final movement you need. Maybe you need one more of those happy babies from the beginning of class. Or another great big morning stretch. Or something I did not offer, but you need. When you're ready, I have a lavender eye pillow for you if you want it. Just keep an open palm and I will settle it in. This is why we come, Janet. It's for the lay down at the end with the lavender. This is what it's for. Take any position where you can rest. Maybe that's stretched out long, but maybe that's with knees bent and feet on the floor. Think about what would feel most restful in your body right now. Begin to deepen your breathing. Begin to invite some small and gentle movement back into your body. Maybe a wiggle of fingers or toes. Or a rocking of the head from side to side. Stretch or move in any way that feels good to you. When you're ready, roll over onto your favorite side. Maybe you bring a hand to your heart and take a deep inhale and exhale. Perhaps offering a word of thanks that no matter how the day has been or is yet to be, that we do have a home with our loving God. When you're ready, pressing your way back up to an easy seat. I'll meet you there when you're ready. Thanks for joining me, sharing this time with me and with one another. I like to end our time together with a blessing of peace. May the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Since as members of one body, we've been called to peace. Shalom. That is God's perfect wholeness unto all of us. Thank you, friends.